got the second chance points. Just what did you kind of make of what he was able to do, and at least those 20 minutes anyway? What sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we had a size advantage, and we haven't shot the ball very good at home. We shot it well on the road, but he was monster. He knew they were loading up the box when he had the ball in the post, so it's an easy way to go get it. And he's really being aggressive on the offensive glass. He's consistent. He's consistently on there, so he's not going once or twice. He's going every time. So his consistency going there is really why I think he's doing what he's doing.
Have you ever seen 6 technical fouls in a game, and kind of what was the sense of it?
Yeah, I coached in the Big East for 12 years, so it's quite a common theme. Yeah, I think my Big East semifinal game 6 years ago, there was like 12 technicals. So no, I mean I love the way Juan coaches, and I love the way his teams play. They play with an edge and an attitude. And obviously, him coming back into the building, they were juiced up and fired up, and I thought the refs actually did a pretty good job of just keeping everybody kind of calm.
Going back to Julian Reese, he has had a solid stretch of games, I believe, these last 4 or 5 games. I was wondering, what do you think is the next step for him as he continues to develop?
I think his biggest thing is to become a defensive presence. He's got the ability, he's got the athleticism, he has the, what I love about Ju is he's a very smart basketball player. He understands scout reports, he knows where to be on the floor. I just think, again, he's young. So just, again, trying to evolve him into understanding what a presence he can be on the defensive end.
Hakeem had another good game. He just looks, with each game, he looks more and more comfortable. Do you think it's as simple as the guys are just getting used to playing with each other and he's getting in rhythm?
Yeah, I also think, I'm using Hawk a little bit more. I'm getting used to what he can do, and he's very good in ball screens. He's very good coming off a lot of dribble handoffs. He's an excellent passer. And he's really worked hard on his shot to become a consistent shooter. So I just think he's one of those guys that when he's on the floor, he's a little bit of a mismatch. And I have a lot of confidence in him.
Can you talk about the offensive flow once Juju went out of the game? I think it was an 11:54 mark, and all of a sudden the 5 out looked fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they were small. And Pat had a sprained ankle, so Pat was out today. He couldn't play because of his ankle. And that's not a game that you can put a big freshman in that's going to play a little guard. So it wasn't going to be fair to Cal to go out there and play. So we just moved Dante to the 5 and just picked and popped with Dante and let our guards kind of space out and attack, and hurt us a little bit defensively, but we were able to kind of get in the flow offensively.
Coach, what was the challenge with defending Sam Sessions?
Yeah, Sam's tough, man. He was tough when he was at Penn State. He's tough now. It's one of those games. We've been defending the 3 really well. We didn't do it tonight, but we kind of knew he was going to get. We were going to let him get his a little bit. We were going to try to take away some of his kicks. He's been passing the basketball at a very high level, so we were going to try to let him finish at the rim, which I think I counted 5 unbelievably tough 2s that I don't mind giving up. So he's a good player.
About midway through the first half there, you called a timeout. It was kind of a back and forth game, and then it seemed like you guys kind of flipped the switch, at least offensively. A lot of that was obviously Julian, but you've only had to do that a couple times, call timeout to stop the other team's momentum. What is the message to the team in that kind of timeout?
You know what? I've done some. I've never had a game after Thanksgiving that I wasn't in a tournament. I technically gave these guys a glorified day off yesterday. We practiced early in the morning. I think we practiced at 8 a.m. We were done by 10, and we didn't do any 5-on-5. We did all dummy offense. Just because we had been on a grind and we have a grind ahead of us. I apologize for a bad practice and told them they have to pick me up because I gave them a bad practice, and that's the reason we're playing bad is not them, it's me.
Three separate 20-point scorers, first time that's happened here in over 20 years. Just what does that say about the depth of this team?
Yeah, I think it's I think it's also the way I've had that a lot in my career. It's just I think you know, these guys play unselfish. They're not a selfish group. They like to pass the basketball. You know, we had been shooting the basketball great, but I think I think as they're getting used to playing with each other, I think they're understanding when to get certain guys shots, when to get guys in the basketball. We're still a major work in progress, but I think from the standpoint of those, really the first five, I think they have a really good feel for what everybody can do on the court, and I think that helps.
Kevin, how would you evaluate the maturity of a team in this spot day after Thanksgiving, coming off of the 2 games that you had last week? I mean, how would you kind of size up the way you guys went about your business?
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with them this morning. Again, we had an early walkthrough this morning. They came and they were focused. They were focused. Again, we spent a lot of time offensively, and you know, I think, you know, there's guys. It's an older team, so I think they can handle a little bit better than some of the younger guys can. So guys like Dante have been around, Jameer, Don, Hawk. Those guys kind of understand kind of grind at this point.
Coach, were you able to exchange any words with Juan in particular about his return to the school?
No, I just told him it was good to have him back in the building. This is his home. You don't really have that much time to talk.
Coach, how did the refs explain the ejection of your coaches? Did they explain that?
It's, again, I hate to say this. I didn't know they changed the rule. So I'm pretty good on the rules, but I didn't know they changed the rule to the fact that the new rule, as explained to me, is assistants or players. If you step on the court, I guess it's a Class B and you're ejected. I would gladly lose 2 assistants anytime to make sure we don't have a fight. So I mean, I'm sure people are going to lose more assistants because I think I'm not going to tell my assistants not to go on the floor to stop a fight or stop something because they might get kicked out of the game. It makes no. I mean, that's the stupidest rule. I mean, imagine them making stupid rules.
Coach mentioned this team was still a work in progress, but what can you still take from this, knowing that you're 6-0 heading into one of your first matches?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me not doing a very good job of preparing these guys, that we still scored 95. We didn't shoot the basketball well. We still scored 95 points. So sometimes coaches don't do good jobs, and I didn't do one today.
How important was it to get all the fouls and then get to the free throw line, because those free throws made a big difference?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think that's something that we've done a good job so far this year is getting into the bonus. Juju and Dante have really helped with how physical they're playing down low. But obviously the technicals help. But you know, getting into the bonus in a game that's kind of sloppy and ugly with a bunch of guys that, you know, they're playing hard, it definitely was a big factor. Thank you, everybody.